So hello guys, again you are welcome to Mosdee Academy, and today is a different thing. We are looking precisely at Unilag Post Utme questions. This video I'm going to be solving questions on math and some general paper questions and real-time questions, which will help you know areas to focus on. We've been doing a lot of preparations and making sure we actually get it right, but now we want to take it school by school so that we can look into some areas that is needed to be known. To be honest, post-UTME questions are questions you can do in milliseconds, and you can do without even using calculator. But calculator, in the case of Unilag, calculator is also provided by the side of your questions. So to start this, I believe you have a pre-knowledge, like I do say on this. Some of these are important questions. So Unilag will not test you on too difficult mathematics questions. They will only give you surface question on mathematics, testing your knowledge on little things you are expected to know. So having said that, we can just look into, I think, 20 to 25 questions, which I'm going to have a maximum of 30 minutes to quickly solve. Then if you are still having challenges on questions and you want more of our classes, you can actually send us a mail or send us a message on the number available on our page. So that's that for now. Let's get to the business of the day. The first question we have, it's a mathematics question, and as you can see, the question says that you have to find the derivative of sine x, or you say derivative, anyhow you call it. You have to differentiate sine x. That is the meaning. From junior classes, you might have studied that talking about the derivative of sine x, trigonometric value, there are 6 functions of trigonometric constant you can keep in mind. Basically, I only talk about simple one now. You have the first one we call sine x, which the examiner asks. The derivative of sine x is cos x. And whenever you have cos x, always keep it to be what? Negative. Cos is always going with negative of what? Sine x. The other one you can look at, tan x is equals to, you have a sec square x and so on and so forth, but I'm not going into that. I only want to focus on what the question asked me. If you want more about all these things, you can write us or send us a message or call us on our number. So this is definitely going to be sin x derivative d by ds of sin x is nothing but option B, which is the answer to this one. So I don't think this should be something we need to be wasting our time on. So it's just like mastering the 6th formula of trigonometric constants. My dear admin, please, next question. I do appreciate your time, admin. The next question says, a fair die with faces numbered 1 through 6 is rolled. What is the probability of getting a prime number? This is also one of the most important questions you could expect from Unilag Post Utme. So talking about probability. Now from junior classes, right from junior classes, JSS classes, you have studied that probability is a game of chance, and because it is a game of chance, it is given as probability is given as the required outcome, which I call possible outcome, divided by the total outcome. So this is always the methodology that is what applied in getting probability questions. So the total outcome is the total number of outcome of that particular event. There are different types of events. You might have studied that. So, and if not, there's always a first time to everything in this life. Now, from this, we have 6 outcomes. That is, a single fair die is rolled just once. So the total outcome is 6. You are looking for what? Probability to get a prime out of numbers 1 through 6. So let's pick out prime numbers. How many prime numbers are here? So everybody know 1 is not a prime number. If you don't know, note it down. 2 is a prime number, you ring it out. Clicking. The next one here is after 2, another prime number we have is 3 is a prime number, you also note it down. Then the last prime number here is what? Nothing but 5. So how many prime numbers we have ringed? 3. There are 3 possible outcomes out of the total outcome of 6 outcomes. So 3 divided by 6 is nothing but 1 over 2. So 1 over 2 will definitely be the right answer to this question. These are real questions of Unilag. So this will only lead you to to areas where you need to focus on, and that's why I'm doing this. It is not, I'm not saying this is what you are going to be given, but these are the real question, real time question, which it's like a simulated question, which will point the direction of where to study. So, having said that, answer to that is 1 by 2, choice C is correct for this. So that's the answer. Admin, next question. Thank you. Now this one says solve for x in exponential equation. Index form, index equation are very important, and basic knowledge of that. If you have a basic knowledge of index equation, I don't think you are going to have issues solving questions like this. Now doing that directly, let's do it together. Everybody know this is raised to power. This should be solution will be direct solution. We can say solution will be nothing but 0.25 is 25 over 100. What have I done? I have converted from what? From decimal points to what? To fraction. And 25 over 100, you and I know the same thing as saying 1 over 4. Now, everything here is raised to x minus 1. I hope this is visible. Hope this is visible. Thank you very much. Admin is equals to nothing but 16. Now, the next thing is look for numbers that will break them down, even numbers. Now, again, a raised to power minus 1 is 1 over a. 1 over 4 is something as 4 raised to power negative 1. Don't forget there is another bracket, which is our power x minus 1 is equals to 16. So if you want to do it like that, you can say 4 raised to power 2. Anyhow, if you want to break the 4 down to 2 raised to power 4, is still what applicable. Now, having said that, the next thing here is just because they have the same base, we say we equate the power. There is a negative. Minus 1 times x is minus x. Minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1 is equals to 2. I'm equating the power. So solving this is very easy. Minus x equals to 2 minus 1. When that moves to the right hand side, we call RHS. This is going to give me negative x is equals to 1. Implication means x is equals to negative 1. So this is the right answer to that. I hope students have learned about index equation or exponential equation, anyhow you call it. This tally with choice A according to the examiner. So next question, admin, please. Thank you very much. Admin, this is a simple question. I hope everybody can do. I just believe everybody can do this. I don't expect you not to be able to do this. Everybody should be able to do this one. So for you to see, well, that is the question for ease of access. Now let's see how to solve that. Now, this is a simple question of sorts or radical equation, and how you call it. This is a simple sort question. They have the same under root of 2, under root of 2. So just focus on the number outside. 16 minus 4, everybody knows 12. Then you put back the root 2. So I think this is more like a bonus question, but you study more by understanding some question that we ask you on how to rationalize. So answer to this is choice D. Next, please. Thank you, admin. The next question says the perimeter of a floor of a rectangular room is 26 meters. Its length is x meter. Find the area of the floor in meters square in terms of x. Now, so far we are doing it in terms of x. We have to be careful. We have a rectangular floor. Rectangular floor, please come up. Thank you very much, rectangular floor. This is a rectangular floor, as you can see. Now, in it we have it is of a perimeter. Perimeter of a rectangle, everybody know, is, this is length and this is width. This is length and this is width. So we say L plus W plus W. That is 2L plus 2W. Basically, it's a 2 into bracket length plus breadth. I'm taking the breadth as the width. I hope you have studied that in your junior classes. That's it. So if the perimeter, I'm taking the first system of equation. Now, perimeter is 26. So that means 2 into bracket length plus width, or length plus breadth, is equals to 26. What do I know? To remove these 2, I can divide both sides by 2. So this is L plus width is nothing but 13. I hope you understand that second line. If you get it, say I. So that is it. Yeah, very good. People are saying I here, even if it is said in their mind. Now, L plus W is equals to 13. The next statement says its length is x. So where we are saying L, we are changing it to x. I hope students are there. So we can say L is now x plus W is equals to 13. We can make W subject of formula. W will now be equals to 13 minus x. Keep that in mind. It's important in solving the rest of the question. So if that is the case, we're going to highlight that for you to see. So if this is 13 minus x, we can now say, now fine, what we see next now is just to solve the remainder part of the question. We have the question now say, what is the area of the floor? Area of a rectangle. You and I know area of a rectangle is length times breadth. So let's substitute value. Length is length, which was x according to the question. X. And what is the breadth, which is the width? Breadth is width. That is 13 minus x. So you have solved according to the exam. X times something is like writing it like x open bracket 13 minus x. So you are looking for something like this. In meters square, whatever is the SI unit, that is what you are looking. Something open bracket, something minus something. So in terms of x, my answer tallies with this choice C, and that is how to do that. Admin, thank you. The conjugate of a number, that is what I told you about sort. They don't only limit it on simple addition and subtraction. Some cases you might actually have question related to conjugate and rationalize. So in this case, conjugate of a fraction or conjugate of a theoretical equation or a sort or a rational number is just reversing the sign. This is a negative sign, it will turn to positive sign. That is what you call conjugate. So keep it in mind. So just reverse the sign of what is connecting the sort. That's all. Do I see? Next time. Yeah, next question says here we have 7,200 or 720, I don't even know, 72,000. Yes, I think this is not showing well. Thank you, Admin. Admin said I should make it bigger. And I think it should be better in this format. Thank you, Admin, I appreciate it. Now, this is 72,000 is invested at 8% simple interest. After how many years has it reached 87,840? I think this is more like a formula-based question. We have simple interest is principal times rate times time, whatever. So 70,000 is invested. It's not inverted. Apologies, please. Now this is a simple interest formula. I'll write it as I. Junior classes is PRT by 100. If you don't know this formula, I think you still need to watch. Maybe you need to read more on mathematics, because I think it's one of the most popular formula in junior classes. So if we have a PRT over 100, the principal is the money that was initial money that was invested, 8% simple interest. After how many years will it reach? So you can see 87,000. You are looking for the time. The rate is 8. Principal was 72,000. Now, listen. This is the amount. That is what most of you don't know. Then amount is equal to the initial principal you used to start the business plus the interest it has accumulated. So this is where something is. So that means now I was given the amount. It has amount to 87,840. So how many interest is now on it? You started something with 72k. Now it is now 87,840. Apologies that it's not concept class, but we need to just explain because I'm not going to be doing anything on Unilag question again. If you have anything, send to my mail or send to my WhatsApp. I'll attend to it for you. Now, if you have this, you say amount is 87,840. So I want to know the interest on. That means what interest has entered the month. That means you subtract A minus B. That is 87,840 minus 72,000. So everybody know 72 plus 8 is 80,000. So 8,740. So 7,840. So we have 8,000 plus 7,000. So I'm saying 15,840. If I'm not mistaken, my admins are there. I can bring calculator out here, but I don't think. Am I right, please? Admins, please confirm this. 87,840 minus 72,000 should be 15,840. Thank you very much. So this is the interest that has accrued on the sum that is invested. So back to our basics formula that we have all studied in junior classes. So we can now come here and distribute the value. What is the principal? Apologies for that. The principal is still 72. Interest now is now 15. Look at what I will do. 15,840 is equals to, these are questions that normally if you are very good, you will know how to solve it without wasting time. But because I'm explaining, that's why I'm taking this time with this. Principal is 72. It is 72,000. Look at my hand, it's just writing in rubbish. Times 8. times the time. Everything divided by 100. So I'll cancel double zero, gets cancelled out. Look at the logic we always say. When you cross multiply, this guy is multiplying 1. I'll finish my question at this side for everybody to be able to visualize. Now look at that. I have 15,840. 15,840 is equals to what I have there is 720 times 8. 720 times 8. Directly I have 0657. 0657. That's 5706. 720 times 8. Admin, please. 57. You can see 5760, right? 5760, am I right? 5760t. So directly I can say, is there also get cancelled out? No time to waste time. I say t is now equals to 15,1584 divided by 576. So then I need the calculator on the screen. It is very important you use it in this kind of situation where you don't want to waste time. So admin will help me with his own calculator now. Just say 1584 divided by 576. 2.7 something. So that is true odd number 3 by 4. So you can do that, and that will be the correct answer to that. So A will be correct for this question, but most of you will have actually done this thing straight, and you get the answer. But this is the way you expect to do it. Get the interest on it before you actually move forward. The next question. Thank you. I think this should be the last question now. I'm not sure. Okay. On mathematics. Which of the following is an example of associative property? An associative property is a set of property that for you guys to see well. Thank you, Admin. Admin are really trying for me tonight, giving me some stuff I don't even know. So now, here you can see associative property is a kind of property that we use in binary operation to explain, or in set of numbers, or in mathematical identities to explain a situation that connects more than 2 operations. When I say more than 2 operations, it must involve more than 2 operations. So here, let's start cancelling out. Now look at the first one. A open bracket B plus C. There is A, there is a B, there is a C. That is 3 operations. It is more than 2. It can be associative. Now let's move on. Look at the second operation. It can never be associative. Because it's just 2 operations. Look at the third one. This and this are also can be what? Associative. So now, how do we get it? Now, we test for what we call commutativity. Commutative. Because students make mistake between commutative and associative property. I'm not teaching. Why am I wasting time on explaining concept? This is not a concept class. This is just a class of solving questions and moving on. But that means that commutative property is just, I say A asterisk B, just an example, is equals to B asterisk A. At least it only works for both multiplication and addition. 1 plus 2 is same as 2 plus 1, right? 2 times 1 is equals to what? 1 times 2. You understand? So it works. So the same thing happens to what? Distribute. But when you talk about distributive, you have more than 2 elements. I can say A asterisk B asterisk C. You can see. It means this guy is going to open the bracket of those 2 guys. You guys in operation, you've come across this many times in your UTM. So in this case, my dear student, nothing to work out. The first operation here is completed because it's connected by plus. Look at the operation, it's connected by plus. Look at this choice C. These and these are the same thing. Nobody needs to tell you that. Check option A and option D. They are the same thing. If you can see very well, you can see it's like B plus this is removing this is removing this. So that means this one and this one share the same property. That's another way to get answer. So the only one that is left out here, which follow associative property, is the one that is expanded without any addition in between. So that is the answer for what associative property, and choice C is the correct answer to that. Next question, please. Thank you, guys. The next question says that 2 ships leaves the same port, comma, the same port. Then we have, I have to expand this first. You guys to be able to see what we have before. So 2 ships leave the same port. They left the same port. What happened to them? One ship sails for 300 kilometers on a bearing of 340 degrees. The other ship sails for 400 kilometers on a bearing of 250 degrees. The distance between the 2 ships is that. Let's just draw the bearing distance relationship to understand the concept. Doing that, I'm going to be using a line graph to explain that one very quickly. because there is no time to waste time. I hope you guys know the meaning of that. When I say no time to waste time. So let's see what we have to do here. Let's use something like this. So let's say we have we are leaving the straight pot. One is moving at 340 and a bearing of 340. 340 is on the fourth quadrant. Because it's at the fourth corner, so I'm going to make sure my hand is coming towards this direction. You know, fourth quadrant is like this. I'm measuring bearing clockwise in the first, second, third, fourth. So I'm going to make sure the stuff is going from down up. So I'll move my hand towards this place. You don't need to draw anything. If you are doing the exam, just quickly make sure you solve and move on. So look at the one I'm talking about. Look at this, guys. So this is 340. Let's say this is where 340 will be something around here. I think so. So now, then the other one is 400 on 250. 250 is the third quadrant. You know what third quadrant means? First, second, third. So now will be something around here. So I just want to draw something that will make sense. So no matter how the diagram looks like, it must always form a triangle. So let me just form my triangle. Now, let me just show you the bearing position I've shown. I'm taking these guys as a starting point, this place. The first one is at 300 kilometers. That's for you guys to get this. On a bearing of 340. See, bearing is clockwise, 90, 180, 270. You are going to 340. 270 minus 340. I hope I'm visible. This is visible, right? Even if I'm not showing, what you need to know is just to see what I'm writing. So 340 minus 270. That is going to give you what? That is 270 minus 340 should be 70. So 70 is here. The remainder to complete that side is 20, because each quadrant is 90, 90. So 20 will go up. So the same thing to 250. 90, 180, you are going to 250. 180 minus 250 is 70. I bet 70 to complete this, that's 70, then 20. Sorry about the other one. The first one should be 90, 180, 270. Then the fourth quadrant, 270 plus 70. I hope I'm correct. 270 plus 70 should be 340. So 70, 270, then 70. I have this place should be, that's the mistake I have. This place should be 70. I want to clean. Sorry guys. Excuse me. Wow. Okay, so this place should be, wow. There are things that do waste my time, and I don't like stuff that waste my time. So let's see if it will work. So the other place is 70. Sorry, we have to make sure you guys get everything well. Don't just assume. See, if we assume, it's going to affect us. So this place is 70 degrees. So whereas if you measure the other one, this place is there's a line. This place here is 20 degrees. Let me show you. For you to, this is the starting point where they live. One is 340. That is 270 plus what is 340? 270 plus 70, 340. One is 250. 180 plus what is 250? 180 plus 70. So if this is 70, to complete that balance of this remaining part, 70 plus what is this is 70 plus 20. So what I'm saying in essence is that this guy is a right angle triangle. 70 plus 20 is 90 degrees. So the other now move at 400 kilometers. So if this triangle is a right angle triangle, we don't need to waste our time. For 90 is the angle between them. Right angle triangle, we can apply Pythagoras theorem. So if we have a right angle triangle, we have 300 square. Let's call this one C. So C, I can say C squared is equals to A squared plus B squared. Pythagoras on the longest side. So 3, 4, and 5. You know Pythagoras triplet. 3, 4, and 5. So if this is 3, this is 4, this place will be 5. 3 square plus 4 square is equals to 5 square. So if you go by 300 square plus 400 square, at the end of the day, you are going to have answer to be 500. So those are ways to save your time. So I will use the same method to make sure you guys understand that if you go by 300 squared plus 400 squared, finish this, it will be, C will now be square root of 9,000, is it 90,000 plus 160,000. It will be truth, that's 500 kilometers. So that's just that. I don't think I need to waste too much of time. I think I'll move to the next question. So the next question says the area of a sector of a circle with diameter 12 centimeter is 66. Area of a sector from a circle is 66. Area of a sector from a circle is 66. Visualize well. Yeah, good. So area of a sector from a circle is 66. So let's just do something. If the sector is folded to form a cone that is generated from a sector. If a cone is generated from a sector, we say the radius of the sector of the cone is theta over 360 times the radius of the sector. This is the formula that relates cone and sector. And if you've not studied that, you can actually watch one video on this on my maths channel. I think I have all these stuff there. Mensuration, different type of mensuration challenge I entered in 2019. I still remember I've done a lot. So because of time, let's move on, because I know I've used more than 25 minutes now if I'm to talk about that. So I have to increase my pace. So a quick one, diameter is a diameter of the circle, big R. So that means radius is 6. I hope students remember that half of what? Diameter is what? Radius. So radius, big R is 6. Now the only thing I still need to put in here is that area of the sector is theta over 360. Somebody is stepping on bike here times pi r squared. This is area of a sector. Theta over 360 times pi r squared. So now from here we can now say, fine. So let's try to get area of a sector was given to be 66. So if the area is 66, I just need theta over 360 to get mine, because I need the radius of the cone, which is smaller. So let me make theta over 360, sorry, formula here. Theta over 360 will be equals to A over what? Pi r squared. From this formula, I just did solve your formula. What is A? That is 66. I can see my method because I don't have time to be looking for calculator. Pi r squared, I'm going to leave answer in terms of pi. Pi times r squared. R is 6. 6 squares are 36. I think 6 can go. 6 here, 11, 6 and 66. Then 6, 6 and 36. So that means theta over 360 is equals to 11 over 6 pi. Taking? So that is that. So let's come to the formula here. I hope you guys understand what I'm doing there. What I'm doing is what you can do. So theta over 3, so I'm looking for radius of the cone. Theta over 360 is what? 11 over 6 pi. That's the answer for theta over 360 times big R. Big R is what? 6. What do I know? This gets cancelled out. Can you see that? So now I'm just having our answer to be 11 over pi. What is pi? It will be given in your question. 22 over 7. So that means you are looking for your calculator now. 11 over 22 over 7. So that's, you can press, if you press well, I think it's 3.5 by answer, but you can tell the diameter is 3.5. I know 22 over 7 is 3.14. So if you say 11 divided by 3, so that's about 3 point something. So I'm very sure about that. So let me show you. This is what I did. That is 11 times 7 over 22. So this will give, hope this is not cutting at me. Please check what I'm writing. So 11 times 7 is 77 over 22 will be the answer. 77 over 22 will be 3.5. Please confirm. 77 divided by 22. 3.5. So that's 3.5. So why I've worked in terms of pi, because some questions will leave their answers in terms of pi. And that is why it is needed for you to know some simple formula about a cone that is generated from the circle. Dear admin, next question. Thank you. Now, U of n is n in open bracket n squared plus 1. Evaluate U of 5 minus U of 4. That means when U is 5, when n is equals to 5 minus when n is equals to 4. There are different ways. But just do direct substitution if you don't know how to do shortcuts. Please allow. When n is equals to 5, everybody should be able to do this. It will be 5 open bracket 5 squared plus 1 minus when n equals to 4, that is 4 open bracket 4 squared plus 1. 4 squared goes to church. So that's that. Then you can now do that. This is 25 plus 1 is 26. 26 times 5. 26 times 5, 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times that is 130. 26 times 5 is 130. minus 16 plus 1 is 17. 17 times 4, 58. 17 times 4 is 68. I hope I'm right. Just subtract. I think that should be 62. 62. So that should be correct. And if not correct, you can correct it from under the comment section. Is allowed. So I think this is a basic equation that everybody should be able to solve. Divide both sides by 3. Move this like this. When you divide both sides by 3, you have x minus 3 is equals to minus 2. Minus 5. If you cannot see it, let me help you expand it so that you can see it. That is the question. So what I did is first is I divided through by 3. So 3 divided by 3 cancel 3 out. Minus 15 divided by 3 is minus 5. So here you can say x answer is nothing but x will now be equals to minus 5 plus 3. And that's minus 2. So I don't think this one should give anybody. There's a minus here. The admin is sleeping on back while working this. Or maybe I'm the one sleeping back. I never know, but it's the admin, not me. So this is minus 5 plus 3. Minus 2 is the option that is given. So admin, please don't sleep on back every time. Next question. Now, this one says you should state the quadrant. State the quadrant the terminal side would lie for an angle of. Thank you. I think I understand you guys now. You should know that I'm a very, very sharp teacher. That it is not showing. So now we have to find the terminal side with the angle of a negative 75 will lie. So this is a kind of multiple angle. I've done this many times. Multiple angle, most of them you subtract the highest power of what? Of what's it called? 360 times the one bigger than what the value. 360 times 2 is 720. If it's now say it should now be sine, I say sine. It should now be 720 minus the angle. The angle is 675. So 720 minus 675 will give you a number that is less than 90. I'm very sure about that. So that is why I'm picking first quadrant. I think that's all for this. Let's see the current affair or the general paper so that we can do them together. Okay, it's the last question. This is just a standard form question. This is n times 10 to the power minus 7. How many zeros are there? Negative 6.17 times 10 to the power negative 7. Standard form. I believe everybody should be able to do that. So that's that about that, guys. I hope you enjoyed the class. Let's see the current affairs. If we can quickly try them. Oh, I still have, while I'm running, I still have questions that is left. This one says, which of the following trigonometric identity is not correct? Basic trigonometric identity is sine square x plus cos square x is equals to 1. So this is the basic unit. And this goes with that. So that's that. Because if you move this guy here, it will change to plus cos square x. The second one is sec square x equals to 1 plus tan square x. Derivations are available on my channel under the trigonometry part. The next one is, which is also correct, 1 plus cot square x is equals to cosec square x. It's also correct. So if this is correct, this is correct, this is correct. So this will be the answer. So it is from this first formula that the other formulas are being derived. I hope you get what I'm talking about, guys. So that is that. The answer to the question is this one, which is not correct. You can check it and yes. Next question, Abby. Okay, fine. Now we have some current affair question, which is also selected from real-time question. So you can use that. Current affairs, you have to read why. I won't lie to you. You have to read why for Unilag. Living on a shoestring budget. Shoestring means something that is what? That is not enough. That is what? A very low amount of budget. So that is our minimum funds. So the next one, we don't have time. I just want to do this in 2 minutes, if possible. In 1953, motion for self-government was moved by Anthony Nauru. You can keep that in mind if you don't know that. Next one, please. Next one, how many times is an elected legislator allowed to serve the office in Nigeria? I think it's 2 times. That's 2 times, just like the way your presidency and the Senate one. So it is 2. I don't think this one is also something we should miss. Next one, a material used by a shoemaker to attract nails. You use what? A magnet to attract nails. Next question, The capital of Israel, states and capital of countries in Africa and beyond, is also important for current affairs when you are studying. Capital of Israel is nothing but Jerusalem. Tel Aviv is also in Israel, but that is not the answer. Tel Aviv, we have Apoel Tel Aviv for goals that watch ball, and so on and so forth. Next question, please. Which country it was known as North Rhodesia? North Rhodesia is also called what? The former name of what? Zimbabwe. Zambia, capital of Zambia should be Kinshasa. For Botswana should be Gaborone. You know, there are lots of them. There are 53 or 55 countries in Africa now. So you should know everything and their capital. Yeah, next one. Thank you very much. Zamfara state was created out of that state. Sankara was emanated, was removed from what? Sokoto. I think it was in 1996 by General Sani Abacha. You can confirm that. I don't teach GP, but as far as I know, you need to study all these things and know the emblem or the slogan of each state as well as their governors. These things are very, very important. Is it Sokoto, I think? And this means acronyms. Acronyms are also very important. And acronyms here is NERC, which means Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission. Be careful not to pick national for Nigeria and not to pick commission for council. So Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission is NERC. Choice D is correct. And the next question, admin, it should be more. Yes. The following are companies created from the former power holding companies. Now, this is questions on power holding companies. Yeah, power transmission company is correct. Power distribution company is correct. Power generating company. There's nothing like power sharing company. So note that, and that should be the answer. Do we have any other question, admin? So if admins have any question, that is the end of this lecture class. I do appreciate your time. Please kindly subscribe to this channel for maximum knowledge. If you are new to us, you want to reach us out, check the number on our page to write us. You can call us, you can mail us, you can message us. See you soon in the next video. Thank you and God bless you. Bye for now.